Hello, welcome back to the Good, the Bad and the Stupid News. It's Friday the 16th of August. Going to get straight on with it. Hopefully I semi-fixed the lighting problem because the lighting wasn't great in the first place, but I did have an issue with it yesterday and I'm hoping I've sorted it out, but I can't check until I've made the video, so deal with that problem tomorrow. The video will be on the podcast as well, obviously, as I've said before, the good, the bad and the stupid.podbean.com. I think it's on iTunes and stuff as well. If you Google it or whatever, you'll find it if you want to find it. It's going to get straight on. So the main headline today was the guy at the Home Office who attacked a worker, slashed him on his face. Luckily the guy's going to be okay. He slashed his face. I don't know how bad that is, but could have been worse, obviously. But the knife man said to have brought along a ferret in a pet carrier and a canister of CS gas. I always wonder what the ferret had to do with the whole situation. You know, he's like, was it like he's got a CS gas and a ferret, as if the ferret had some part to play in his plan, or was he just on the way home from the pet shop and just thought, oh no, this fucking just go and knife somebody, just random. But then he's got CS gas, so he's come prepared. The ferret must have had something to do. Was it poisoned? Whatever. I'd like to know. Let's hope Scotland Yard do their business and fucking find out what the ferret was all about and let us all know, because it's intriguing. Let's find out what Boris Johnson visited the prisons and was screamed at or shouted at from all the prison wings by all the rowdy lags chanting "Fuck Boris." Stormzy's song "Fuck Boris." Has he got a song called "Fuck Boris"? Stormzy's song "Fuck Boris," well, he has, according to this. Inmate Sam Walker said that the prison officers begged them to be quiet during the Prime Minister's visit. So if they give a shit, in fact, he's probably just fucking laughs it off anyway, doesn't he? If you saw him walking through Manchester the other day and everyone was lobbing stuff at him, he just walked past, just waving to everybody like as if nothing was happening, even though everybody there was kind of there to fucking scream abuse at him, sort of thing. He just laughed it off. So it's quite funny, that is. That's a good skill to have, to like, there you go over his head. That's a Donald Trump thing, that, isn't it? Although he's more of a narcissist. But yeah, he probably just fucking didn't even notice, just carried on about his business, didn't even mention it, should I say. What's this one? Couples can now nag their partners via Google. The media giant is adding a feature to its smart speakers which let users set tasks for specific people. So you can recreate reminders for your partner or roommate to do things like pick up the groceries, pay a recurring bill, or walk the dog. It's quite good, unless you are a nagger. Then it would be a fucking nose if, like, you're sitting here and all of a sudden the thing goes, don't forget, you got to go down and do this, that and the other. You'd have to start leaving notices in the response saying, tell Mary or whoever the nagger might be that I fucking ain't doing it. I'm having the day off. I've had a long day. I have a day off and I'm putting my feet up. If you want, what did she want from the shop? Whatever you want from the shop, then you'll have to get it yourself. Yeah. So it can work both ways, I think, on that one. But it's quite a good idea it's a good idea to remind yourself to leave messages for yourself, because I'm very, very forgetful and I'm always coming back and going, oh shit, why didn't I do that? So if I leave a message to remind myself something, it'll be, nag myself. How about that? I'll be my own nag. Getting on my own nerves, telling myself to do things. So yeah, well, I'm talking to myself here anyway, so it's almost like turning into some kind of schizophrenic or something or other. But if it helps you get shit done, I'm all for it. Although, what is it, an Alexa? I haven't got an Alexa. It annoys me anyway, because you have to constantly, it's good, but it's like you have to constantly keep repeating yourself because it doesn't get it right, or it gets it fucking back to front or play something else. So winds you up, you'll end up throwing it up the wall if you're in a bad mood. Right, furious vegans have panned New Morrison's veggie version of the BLT, claiming it's just a salad sandwich. How's this made the papers then? Have they had a flurry of phone calls? And I'm not slagging vegans, by the way. I don't eat meat and stuff myself, but I think it's funny, some of these. I think people in any form of minor dispute who take it so fucking seriously, they're funny. You know, it's funny how are we just having a fucking bad life or what? You know what I mean? It's like not necessarily about a fucking vegan sandwich. It's about, like the woman yesterday who said a chips tasted a potato and took them back. It's all like minor complaints really. They don't really make a difference. Somebody's selling a sandwich called a CLT, carrot, lettuce and tomato. The carrot is smoked and it's supposed to taste a bit like a BLT. They don't like it because they're saying it's just a salad sandwich. Don't buy it then, buy something else. Buy fucking an alternative sandwich. There's lots of different things you can eat. Rather than ringing up the papers about a fucking carrot sandwich. Alright, don't sound too appetizing, but there's loads of things on the shelves in Morrison's that isn't appetizing. You know what I don't do? I don't buy them. Or what I do, I don't buy them. So yeah, I'm glad we dealt with that one. In fact, I might even try one of those next time I see it, and I'll let you know how it tastes. But I think that people think they're being. I suppose it depends on the price. Have they said the price? How much is it? How much is it? If it's £4, then I'm on the side of the vegans. £2.20. Well, that's a bit fucking standard, isn't it? I mean, anything cheaper than that is almost shit anyway, isn't it? I mean, £2.20 is pretty much standard price for the shitty stuff the shitter sandwiches, isn't it? The more posh ones are about £3. So £2.20, that's all right. You know. Someone's still got to cut the carrots, cut the things, cut the fruit, make the sandwich, put it in a box. All that for £2.20. Come on, where's the profit? Not much. Right, there's more important things to talk about than this carrot sandwich. Let's move on. Speaking of the woman who was complaining about potatoes tasting of chips yesterday, it's come back in the paper today about other things that people have complained about. Other stupid complaints. So same sort of thing really. Like this woman here, Frida Jackson, 81, named and shamed Frida. Shame on you. Said her holiday to Benidorm was ruined because there were too many Spanish people there. The Gran from Blackburn said, why can't the Spanish go somewhere else for their holidays? Fucking, you know, beggars belief really, doesn't it? You go to Spain and then you're fucking sick of seeing Spanish people. In fact, Benidorm, you know, you're probably still outnumbering the Spanish and you're still pissed off with the Spanish. You're way outnumbering the Spanish. And Benidorm, if you've ever been Benidorm, you got like all them bars that are like the Only Fools and Horses bar and the EastEnders bar and stuff like that, where people just take their life and try and recreate it while they're over there, but with a pint and a fucking English breakfast. Yeah, so she won't dig in the Spanish. She won't dig in the Spanish enjoying their own country there. Also, in 2010, a man from Glasgow called trading standards because the bars of his football table had gone rusty, even though he'd left it outside with no covers for 2 years. So he obviously blames everybody else for everything that he does. Another tourist moaned on holiday in India, I was disgusted to find that every restaurant served curry, and I don't like spicy food. What the fuck are you doing in India? It's like fucking hell. It's like, or take your own food with you if you're that fussy. What do you expect to find? I mean, you must have went to a certain part of India. Well, I suppose I've not been to India, so I don't know. But the Western world pops up everywhere, so I'm sure she could have found something else if she'd have really tried. Maybe she was with people who wanted to enjoy their Indian food, and you were just being a killjoy, and you had to drag along with them. Yeah, I bet there was some arguments towards the end of that holiday. In 2014, a punter tweeted Domino's to say that they had ordered a pizza and it had came with no toppings, just the bread. However, they had opened the box upside down. So I was going to say fucking dummies, but I'm just going to say I've done that. No, I have not done that. But what I have done is take a pizza home, try and get the keys in the door. While I was getting the keys in the door, I was obviously drunk, got the keys in the door, I dropped the pizza landed face down on the gravel, on the fucking tarmac, and I was drunk, so I still ate it, or I still tried to eat it anyway, and that was a sad day when I had to dig little bits of gravel stones out of what was a really fucking nice pizza. But I left there, the shop had shut, starving, so I didn't eat a lot of gravel. I got most of it off, but you know what I mean, it's like pretty grim that I had to like pick it up off the floor and battle on. Needs must. 2014, oh no, it's that one, I just read that. One holidaying couple said, we bought designer sunglasses for €5 and then was shocked to find that they were fake. Well, you're the only one shocked to find they're fake. Another couple complained about their holiday with the classic comment, the beach was too sandy. Well, you can't please. There's some people you'll never please. You'll never please, no matter what. So just don't go on holiday with them is the main point of that situation, I think. What have we got here? I'm not going to do that one now yet. Okay, so was it two triathletes, George? Oh, I've cut half the one's name. Jess Learmouth and Georgia Taylor Brown won a triathlon Olympic qualifying event in Tokyo. There's a picture of them there. Look, crossing over the line, holding hands. David, look how far ahead. There's nobody in the distance there. They're like miles ahead of everybody else. Only problem, they run over the line like that, and then they got disqualified because you can't run over the line. Well, they were holding hands running over the line, and there was no distinction, or they didn't leave any distinction as to who was going first or second, sort of thing. So they got disqualified, and somebody else got first and second who came in later on. So wounder for them. And it's stupid though, but it's a bit over the top to fucking disqualify. I mean, you know what I mean? That's like gone from elation to they didn't get no prize money or nothing like that, and they've gone all the way over there, trained and everything for it, and then they get fucked over like that. I think it's a bit harsh, really. But if them's the rules, rule 2.11.f needs to be relaxed a little bit. You know what I mean? People need to like fucking relax. It's like, surely one of their feet could have been deemed ahead of the other one, or he could have just said, "Who win? You two decide who wins or who's not." But instead, it all ended in tears, unfortunately. So just remember that if you're ever doing anything similar, win. Don't let the other person get in, or whatever. Don't get distracted by somebody else. Because it was the one girl who distracted the other girl. I think the second person, so the other one grabbed the other girl's arm. So that's going to be a frosty playing home as well, I think. You know, because although they say, "Oh no, it's no problem," the one is like, "Fucking hell, it's her fault, the silly git." Ziggy Stardust. There's a tribute for David Bowie outside where he became a starman. Outside the Ziggy restaurant in, where is it? Southeast London suburb. I ain't got time to figure out where it is. Beckenham Arts Centre, somewhere around there. Anyway, they've put like a, see that Ziggy sign on the floor there. If you're listening on the podcast, you obviously can't see it. If you remember the Ziggy thing he had on his face, the lightning strike, it's on the floor outside this Ziggy restaurant, and people are moaning about it. Again, moaners are fucking moaning about it. They're saying, "Oh, it looks shit, it looks like graffiti." What's wrong with graffiti anyway? It looks like graffiti, it doesn't look like graffiti. It could be. It looks like a bit of a red carpet, if anything, but that's a good thing. It doesn't look offensive or anything like that. Anyway, it could be mistaken for a hole by people with dementia. Was one person of. You could have picked like the most unlikely scenario to occur. If a dementia patient happened to be coming along who might imagine that it's a hole. And if she did imagine that it's a hole, what then? She'd just walk around it, surely. So, still, no problem. It's like, how could you think, well, we should get rid of that because the very slight eventuality of a dementia patient coming along and thinking that it's a hole. So I think we need to bear that in mind when we do anything like that. And somebody else said it was a waste of good paint. So, and a rubbish tribute to a great artist. Well, that was by somebody said Marie Dye. Well, Marie, I think it's a good tribute, and I think you should shut your mouth and fucking enjoy it and start ruining it for other people if you can't. This one's a fucking strange guy. The congressman in America who's trying to keep what's it called? Abortions, or wants to make abortions unavailable for anybody, regardless of rape and whatever else. And his excuse for that, or his words to sort of support himself on that are: the humans might have died out if it wasn't from births that resulted from rapes and incest. An American petition has argued to defend his call on the ban of all abortions. So his argument is that had there not been people born out of rapes and pillages from those days, long time ago, the human race wouldn't exist. So I've never heard anything more ridiculous than that, really, because I'm pretty certain that most of the human race wasn't born from rapes and pillages. So that very fucking small minority that might have and still have a line of people would be anywhere near the fucking the none of that situation. You know what I mean? It's like, it's ridiculous to sort of narrow it down to that. And how can you sort of use that for this point going forward anyway? Because there's that, you kind of like excusing rape if you're gonna, or rape, you're excusing as if it's like okay to rape and pillage if it's gonna support the human race in a way. So it's just fucking absolutely pathetic that he's come out with that, and I'm pretty certain he must be getting drilled to fuck on Twitter and anything like that. So he's probably totally oblivious to it, though. He's one of those people that believes what he says. He's got to be. I don't know. I don't really want to say what I was about to say then, but he's got to be fucking something wrong with him anyway. If he's 100% pro-life, he said, but he's basically saying if a rape victim will have to have the baby and stuff like that, when it should just be down to somebody's choice, like down to somebody's choice that they might do themselves in and stuff like that because of your fucking excuses or your law. It's obviously getting a bit dark now, but you know what I mean. It's like you might create your law, but then you'd lose people because they can't live with themselves or live with that situation. So fucking, it's common sense. A drunk driver crashes his car into 5 houses when he went to get a takeaway. A drunk driver crashed his car into 5 houses when he went to get a takeaway. So he was that pissed, he decided to pop out and get a takeaway and just fucking wrote off. Sorry, podcast people, there's a few pictures here, but you're missing. What if you just imagine a car and a load of smashed houses all fucking down the street, where a guy lost it at the wheel and just wrote off the front of their houses and whatever. Fucking hell, it must have been a right mess. Now what was he popping out for? Kebab, something like that. Was it kebab? Does it say? He felt extreme shame because obviously he's sober. That's the thing, isn't it? When you're pissed, you do these crazy things, and then the next day, when you're the normal person again, you're like horrified at your own actions. So he's ruined a fucking few people's next 6 months while they've got to fix their houses, all for cheesy chips or kebab from down Kebabalicious or wherever it is down the road. Wasn't worth it. And he's obviously been prison and everything else on top of it, so shit times. A giant Frazzle is going viral after a surprise shopper shared a photo of it on Twitter. Fucking crazy, isn't it? I must have put, fuck knows how many things I've put on Twitter. I don't think I've had anybody even look at one. Nobody's even found them. I've had like, not shit things as well. I've put some good Twitters, good tweets. I haven't had one, not one share, I don't think. I don't one fucking like. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Frazzle's a giant Frazzle, and next thing you know, she's fucking round the houses. 5,000 likes in a couple of hours. I need to up my game. I need to fucking start taking photos of ridiculously stupid things and see where that gets me. A giant Frazzle. Maybe I'll put this little snippet of this video of this Frazzle. See if people take pity on me and share my plight and get me around the Twitter or something on the back of the Frazzle story. Piggyback on the Frazzle. What am I going on about? He was stunned anyway when he opened the bacon flavour corn-based snack and pulled out one as long as 3 times longer than a normal one. Okay, now I must have made he must be talking about that. Is that his new pub story? He captioned it, "Check the size of this Frazzle, man." Man is put as well. Am I frazzled looking at it? I am frazzled just looking at it. So is it a hippie or what? One fan, now he's got fans, the Frazzle has a fan. One fan hailed it as the world's biggest Frazzle. The bag was part of a £1 multi-pack Sean bought from a branch of Iceland in Glasgow on Monday. Some people questioned how the supersized bite even managed to fit into the packet. The bag was already open and it was poking out. Thought it would be soggy when pulled this out. A Mary Poppins bag of Frazzles. Don't know what that means, but fucking hell. So the Frazzle, this is a famous Frazzle there. If anybody wants to go and have a photo outside the Iceland in Glasgow where it was found, you know, get your piece of history, your memory. Brits spend 6 years, 9 months just waiting for people in queues and for kettles to boil and food to cook. An insurance survey found a lot of people spend a lot of time waiting for me as well because I'm always late. But now you've got your iPhone, so this is why people moan about people on their phones all the time, but they're doing shit while they're waiting for shit, aren't they? You know what I mean? It's like I'm in the dentist earlier on, and the dentist, you sit in the waiting room, everyone's on the phone, and it is quite annoying. Everyone's like engaged in the phone, but what else are they going to be doing? They'll just be sitting there, not talking to each other. They're just sitting. You'd be sitting staring at the fucking wall otherwise, wouldn't you? So at least then you're doing something. You're sending somebody a message. You might be working. I do a lot of work on my phone, so I sit there doing that, and I can feel eyes burning on me, going, "What's that fucking idiot on his phone? Fucking pissing me off." You're not doing anything to anybody. You're just doing your own thing, but you can just see just winding people. You know, in fact, do it even all the more if that's the case. So people don't get it, but yeah. So that's the best way. If you're in a queue or you're waiting for a kettle, just fuck about on your phone. You know, not wasted any time then, have you? You've used your time wisely. It's the other fucker that's wasting their time, sitting, looking at you, staring at you, moaning at you. You know what I mean? Back to front, isn't it? An ice cream man who was arrested and charged for serving in the morning. No, an ice cream man was arrested and charged for serving in the morning, exactly what I said before his licence allowed it. Am I reading this right? I'm guessing he hasn't got a licence to sell ice cream in the morning. Again, waste of people's time, waste of police time. Is it was he like handcuffed and everything and like fucking taken into the cells and whatever and pounded his ice cream van because he sold a 99 at fucking 9 o'clock? The world's gone mad, you know what I mean? If someone wants to buy an ice cream, let them fucking buy an ice cream. Somebody wants to sell an ice cream, you know, fuck it. Somebody else was running down the road with somebody's TV at the time that policeman was digging him out for his fucking ice cream sales. What we got here? Yeah, a policeman who pocketed £200 thinking it was lost property handed to him by a member of the public wept in court yesterday as he admitted theft. He was given the cash by a bag by a phone charge by an undercover officer on Wednesday to test his integrity. That's tight, that is, isn't it? That's like, but you fucking nicked the ice cream, man, so what are you going to do? I don't know if it's the same person who did it, but another copper set him up. That's like the worst of the worst. I mean, coppers are fucking snidey anyway, or can be. You know, I imagine if you're pals with a copper and you maybe drop a clanger on what you've done somewhere, you might get somebody giving an anonymous call and like calling it in. It's all badge on the shoulders, isn't it? But to set up another copper and go like, you know, here's some money and see what you're going to do, and then you pocket the money, and then he's lost his job. He's probably lost his job. He's been given a suspended sentence. Just fucked him over. He must have just been like, he must have had it in for him. Was he a good looking dude and he's been around your wife or something? There's something untoward there, isn't there? But he's basically lost his job, lost his 200 quid. You know, he's crying, he's been bankrupt, divorced, all this kind of stuff, and then you go and fucking land that one on him. So yeah, I wouldn't be too happy if that was me. Right, running out of time, so a couple more to do. A man has died after competing in a taco eating contest at a baseball game in California. He died on Wednesday shortly after arriving. It was not immediately known. It wasn't known how many tacos the man had eaten, whether he'd won the contest. But one spectator said Mr. Hutchin had been gulping down the Mexican corn parcels at breakneck speed. A spectator of the contest told the Lucas that he noticed Mr. Hutchins because he was eating so fast compared to the other two. Well, fucking, it can't be any good for you. You can't eat shoveling food in without swallowing it and just fucking forcing it down. That's like the same as what we do to, well, not we. I fucking don't, but what they do to the ducks, innit, or the geese, the fargois, fucking ramming shit down their throat. Of course, that ain't good for you. You're shame that he's died, but fucking, you've seen there's a thing now called speed eating. I saw a girl who was quite a pretty girl as well, but she's like a speed eating champion, and she's doing all these stupid videos of her eating, I don't know, like 100 donuts in a minute, and the same thing, and he's going like that, and he's going like that, and I think, what's good about that, really? It's like, and then she's working out in the gym and everything, obviously to keep the shit off or whatever, but she's eating burgers, like 20 burgers in like no time at all, and it's like, I don't get, it's almost like it's a sport. They've even got sport gear on and everything. Fucking crazy, man. Some people are just off their head, aren't they, really? But they're getting more Twitter shit going on than I am. She's fucking viral, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying to you. It's all fucking back to fronts. I'll have to, fuck knows, I'll have to just go and shovel 100 tacos in my mouth, and hopefully I'll survive to tell the tale. Right, last three, then we'll do these last three. A new documentary which defends Michael Jackson against child sex abuse allegations has gone on global release. Chase the Truth has been made to defend the late King of Pop following the Leaving Neverland, whatever. So somebody says 4 hours of it. So they're going up against the 4 hours of edited footage to show the truth about our friend Michael Jackson and lies about him. I've had enough of this nonsense. We've told the truth in just 1 hour, which crushes the Leaving Neverland documentary. So any of you that bought into that story, or who fucking watched that and thought, you know, watch the one side, now there's another side, so you should watch the other side and see how you feel then. Because, you know, you got to, obviously there's evidence on both sides, but there's only given one side on the documentary, so it'd be quite interesting to find out what the other side says. So I'm not giving any opinions on it, I'm just saying that there's two sides to a story, isn't there? So sexy pavement lichen warning. New Zealanders have warned against eating a lichen-like plant found in pavement cracks following claims that it works like Viagra. Well, why people are going to be put off by eating that? They're going to be fucking munching that down, some people, aren't they? Probably old geezers like doing the gardening, scraping it out, fucking munching it down, and then Benny Hilling around the house, chasing the wife around the house. Scientists said sexy pavement lichen, a green algae-like fungus which grows on footpaths, the trunks of trees and shady rocks, is being promoted online as a natural alternative to erectile dysfunction drug. That's alright. You could, according to Stuff magazine or whatever, it's being ground into a powder or turned into pills and sold in China for as much as $300 per kilogram. So, fucking, yeah, don't eat it. Don't eat it. Fucking dig it up and sell it if you can find it. Maybe keep a bit for, you know, keep a little bit back. But it sounds, they're saying it's somewhat toxic and not to eat it. The larger kinds of chemical. It says, I can't read it all. I always say in my talks, I don't recommend going out and licking the footpath. It's talking about car exhaust, you know, there's tainted by pollutants, feces, car exhaust fumes, mercury and arsenic. So, well, you just wash that off, don't you? Or just don't eat it, sell it to the Chinese. If they're going to pay £300 a kilogram, let them worry about the feces and whatever else is on it. Well, there you go, Viagra, it's all about, yeah, all this natural, a lot of power in the natural herbs, especially one that we're all, you know, keen to become legal. Anyway, I'm going to finish up on this last thing. Bruce Lee's daughter has told Quentin Tarantino to shut up in a row over the depiction of the martial arts hero in the new film. Lee is portrayed as arrogant in the black comedy, to which Tarantino has defended by saying Bruce Lee was kind of an arrogant guy. And his daughter is of the opinion that, how the fuck do you know that you've never met him? She said he could just shut up about it, or he could say, I don't really know what Bruce Lee was like. But he hasn't said that. In fact, he's standing by saying that I heard, he's saying I didn't make that stuff up. I heard him say things like that, to that effect, or heard of him saying things like that. And that he said apparently that he could beat up Muhammad Ali. And his wife's, and Tarantino said that he's read that in his wife's biography book, that Bruce Lee thought that he could beat up Muhammad Ali. That was quite, well, you know, he was very, what's he called? He was a confident dude, wasn't he? So, and he was a fighter, and he probably would like the fucking, to think that he could. Muhammad Ali used to think he could beat everybody up. It wouldn't even been a fight that you could even properly put on, could you? Because it's totally two different things, but it would be good to watch. It would have been good to watch that, but at the same time, everybody loves Bruce Lee, whether he's arrogant or not. In fact, if he's arrogant, that made him who he was, made him believe he could do all them things that he did. So, you know, unfortunately, you got to kind of ignore that side of thing on somebody was fucking right at the top of his fucking whatever, you know, whatever he did, and like how much he did. I think he died at 32 or something like that. But you know, the question now is, could he beat up Muhammad Ali? What do you think? I think it would have been good to see it, but either or, they're both brilliant in their own right. So I'm going to leave it there because the video's been long but good. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. And remember, Bruce Lee thought he could beat up Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali knows he could beat up Bruce Lee. So we'll never know. Have a great weekend. See you next week. Bye.